pitchers and catchers reporting you're sitting here. Well, shouldn't you be on a flight?
This is exactly where I need to be with you guys. We got Michael Kay out of the set for a week, so it's just going to be the three of us. But, Bob, to your point, this is one of the greatest days when you're a pitcher or a catcher. You report to Steinbrenner Field. You get back with your teammates again after that offseason, and you have the excitement individually that you're all going to go out there and have a great year. But I think when they walk through the doors tomorrow afternoon out onto Steinbrenner Field and they start getting to work, you realize it's the grind of a big league spring training that takes you into a big league season that the Yankees are hoping is going to take them into another postseason, and maybe 8.5 months from now, maybe you win a World Series.
Yeah, that word hope is pervasive today. We heard Aaron Boone say hope springs eternal. That is what all 30 teams are saying right now. And though all 30 teams are saying it, not all 30 have a legitimate opportunity to get back to the World Series. The Yankees do. They were the best team in the American League last season. As I survey the landscape in the American League right now, I think they're the best team again. So this is where it all starts, to make the opportunity to get yourself back there. We'll leave the Dodgers off to the side for now. You got to get there in order to win. I think today hope turns into belief if you're the Yankees that you can make it happen.
Dominguez last year did not look good in left field, struggled at the plate when he had opportunities. So he's getting an opportunity as a 22-year-old coming off a year last year where he was hurt and didn't have great results at the big leagues. I know Volpe was a young player in the minor leagues, but he didn't have those hiccups that we're going to be paying attention every fly ball that's hit out to him in left field. When Aaron Boone said if you can play the outfield during the Grapefruit League, he means that it's a high sky in Florida. There's a lot of wind in Florida during spring games, and the sun is not easy to deal with. So he's going to have to go out there, battle all of that, but we're also going to be watching all the at-bats, because last year when the Yankees wanted him to be a big piece of that postseason roster, he didn't hit enough. So he's got to prove his way onto this team, and he's got to stay healthy.
You know, last year was a grind. Staying healthy is key for him. He couldn't really get through the season. What is that like, whether you're 22 or 32, knowing you just don't feel your best?
Well, it's not easy, obviously, to play in the big leagues when you're 100% healthy. But I think Jason going through an offseason that he's gone through and gets this opportunity coming into spring training, he was told you need to work on left field. That's where your priority needs to be defensively. And then the offensive part, he's going to get every opportunity. This is a dream situation for a young player trying to make the New York Yankees, to basically being told, we want you to be the guy. Now you just have to go into spring training, and I guess just don't fall on your face, and you're probably going to be the starting left fielder.
Yeah, and I think that's the scenario that the Yankees are laying out for him. And yes, he has had slivers of opportunities to impress. That injury last season really hurt his maturation, because had he not gotten injured, we would have seen him in the major leagues a lot sooner. And let's also go back to last season. In September, the Yankees did give him every opportunity to win postseason at-bats, and he was getting so much run that I thought he had. I thought he was going to be their outfielder in the postseason. Instead, they went with Verdugo because he was the steadier defensive player. But, Flash, I just feel as if all of the shackles or handcuffs need to be off. Yep. I get what you're saying about Volpe having had a better spring training and all that, but to me, Dominguez needs to play.
And the one thing I will say to finish this up, the Yankees, they don't need Dominguez to carry them offensively, especially at the beginning of the year. He could have a good spring training, not a great spring training, and you give him an opportunity, Jack, I think to your point, during the month of April into May, to say, get your feet on the ground, get your swing going. You don't have to be the man from the first days of the regular season.
Guys, Aaron Boone also talked about the third base situation. So if the idea is Jazz Chisholm going to second base, you got DJ LeMahieu, Oswald Peraza, Oswaldo Cabrera. Jack, as you look at that, people would say there's a need in the offseason for the Yanks to do something, but there wasn't a burning need because of those internal options.
Yeah, this is going to be an ongoing discussion at third base. The player who plays third base for the Yankees this season, guys, he might not even be on the roster right now. That something else could happen, but while you have these three players in camp, this is where the competition lies.
DJ LeMahieu is going to get every opportunity, right, Jack? He's got 2 years left on a deal, $30 million that he is owed. So the Yankees are probably saying, we hope he wins this job. We hope he gets off to a good start during the spring and stays healthy. And you hope that he's going to get off to a good start during the year. You look at the other players, Peraza is intriguing. intriguing because we just haven't seen enough of him, and he's a young player who's out of options. So if he doesn't make this Yankee team, there are other clubs who had an opportunity to get him. But I think this is all with DJ LeMahieu. If Aaron Boone said during the press conference today that he looks healthy, he looks great, he's going to get every opportunity, with the caveat that Brian Cashman's going to be waiting to see if there's another third baseman that falls into his lap. We know there are a lot of good players still out there who don't have major league deals.
What does Cashman always say in terms of his job? He says his job is to make the Yankees better, and if there's a position where he feels he can make them better, he will act. There's no need to have to act on February 11th. Yes, there is a fan base that is clamoring for who's going to play third base. Well, they don't have opening day until late March, so there's time for them to figure out. But Flash, you bring up a great point about LeMahieu. He's owed $30 million.
Yep.
They're going to figure out who he is. They're going to give him an opportunity in spring training, but they're not going to just shed him at this moment. I'm intrigued by Peraza because there have been points in his career where he was a very highly touted prospect, someone who was a top 50-ish Major League Baseball prospect. So who can he be? He's got the arm to play third base. Can his bat come along with it? And can he stay consistent if given an opportunity to play third?
Guys, one final thing. Aaron Boone also addressed the Dodgers, and in the wake of winning, some of the players talking about sloppy play. He mentioned, with the caveat, wasn't any of their superstars, but certainly got the Yankees' attention.
I thought Aaron Boone handled that beautifully today, right? He kind of made his point that it wasn't the, Mookie Betts or the Clayton Kershaws who were making the comments. It was guys like Joe Kelly, Kike Hernandez. But I think when opposing teams, they kind of peeled the curtain back a little bit and said the advance reports were that the Yankees were going to kick the ball around a little bit. It ended up happening during the World Series, and Aaron didn't really react to it, but it is a reflection of the manager and the coaching staff when somebody exposes them like that. But I'm going to finish. He handled it beautifully today by sending a little message without really causing any controversy.
It's salt in the wounds when you lose a World Series and then the team that beat you reminds you of the reason that you lost the World Series. And even if it's a Joe Kelly who was not a factor at all in that World Series, it's going to sting. But to your point, Flash, I think what Aaron Boone said was, hopefully if the Yankees ever get in that position, they'll handle it with more class. But the point is, they did struggle in that inning, and they did give the Dodgers opportunities. And that's an inning that I think should motivate the Yankees throughout 25. Don't allow yourself to be in that position again where you give such a good team extra outs and you watch your season expire right before your eyes.